Hello, it's me, Brian. Good morning. I figured I'd make this video. For all the first-time homesteaders and newbies, right? People that just moved out to the boondocks. Let's see, where am I? Right here. That decided to throw away, the fantabulous city life, you know what I'm saying, and all of its, treasured moments. Come live out here in the outback. Now, start with homesteading. Well, it's been around a long time. Heck, way back in the mid-1800s, the government was giving away, tracts of land at 160 acres a crack. You know what I'm saying? For nothing. All you had to do is drive your wagon and your family out there to get it, stake it out, it was yours. There's still people living in this valley that, homesteaded way back then. Their family's still here. A lot of places, Missouri, Kansas, Wyoming, right? Arizona, right? Utah. Well, no, not so much Utah because the Mormons got Utah, right? But yeah, it's something that Americans have done since the beginning. Living out here in the nowhere, right? And it's not just about survival. It's about living. It's about growing a family, growing a place. Something that you could leave to the future generations, you know what I'm saying? Living an easy country life. It's not easy, but it's country. Anyways, I'm saying we're gonna start out this morning with you already got your little piece, you know what I'm saying? Right? You got your partner, your wife, your old lady, your cousin, it don't matter, anybody that's with you, right? In my case here, it's Teresa and Mom, right? You know what I'm saying? You have to view it like this, right? No matter who is there with you, lives with you, right? You have to assume the responsibility for their health and their welfare because they are assuming the responsibility for your health and welfare, right? You have to be there for them just as much as you expect them to be there for you. It's kind of a hard thing to do, right? And then the whole, in my view, I look at it this way. I'm saying you do those things that you need to do every day, right? So that everybody moves forward, right? It doesn't matter if they're helping me today or not, right? It doesn't matter if I have to go out of my way to do everything for them today or not, right? You have to assume this mindset that whatever needs to be done is going to get done today, right? I had this mindset when I was in the city because I didn't have to go to work till 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So I made it a point to make sure that the most important thing I had to do today I got done before 11 o'clock in the morning. So that way I didn't stress about it and get all goofed up and end up late for work or not even going to work because I didn't handle my business. But here, it's pretty much the same way, right? You have to be this way. All right, so let's jump into the list. Right, number one, right, you have to decide what it is that you want to do with your little piece. Right? Like this ranch right here is a lot more than you think it is. I mean, over there on the other side of the little fence right there, a 5-acre lot right there, it's empty. That's where Jimmy and Marlene used to keep their horses. Because they had horses or trailers all over the dang place. All right, this building behind me that you see right here, this was their shop building, and behind it they used to have a tire shop, and they used to run a little business out of their little yard. That's why you see a lot of machines, right, and a lot of stuff laying around, right. Over time, right, things get old, and they fall into a state of disrepair or disuse. Right? And then, you have to avoid this at all costs, right? Because when things start to fall apart out here in the nowhere land, right? It's hard to catch it back up and to get it back on track and where it's going, because you end up fixing and refixing a lot of stuff, redoing a lot of stuff, moving a lot of stuff here and there and everywhere else because it's stacked everywhere, right? And you need to, you need to know what it is you want to do, right? You know what I'm saying? Before you start doing it. It's that simple. If some people, you're going to start out in a camp trailer. Some people are going to start out in one of those pre-made modular buildings you get at Walmart. Other people are going to get lucky and they're going to, move right into a place like this, right? That's already established, right? But it's still all the same in the very beginning. You still got to figure out what it is you want to do, right? Because there's lots of things to do, right? Lots of things to do. And sometimes, some days, it gets to the point where you feel overwhelmed with all of the stuff that we still need to do. We got to fix that. We got to run the water lines. We got to fix the stairs. Oh, man, I ain't got enough screws. I can't find the drill. Blah, 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 blah. And on and on and on it goes, right? Well, you got to think about it. What you want to do, what you want to establish first, right? Now, if you right out of the get-go, all you got is a piece of dirt in a camp trailer, then the first thing you need to figure out is water, right? Drill your own well, get somebody to drill a well. Do you have access to city water? Blah 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 blah. On. Guess where you start? Right there. Water is the stuff of life, right? And then from there you can break it down into sections. What you need to do, right? You know what I'm saying? All right. And then at that point, if you have a partner, you know what I'm saying, or you have a few friends, or there's people that are living with you, you know what I'm saying? Since you already know what it is that you want to do, you can divide that work up into groups. Like me, it's just me here. Sometimes I get help from Teresa and Mom. Sometimes some evenings they come out and they pull weeds and they do other stuff. You know what I'm saying? But they're limited in their mobility, you know what I'm saying, and their, athleticism, shall we say. Right? So basically it's just me. Right? So this is what I do. Right? I've been building a fence. You guys know this. Right? At the same time, I also been cleaning out the yard and the flower bed so that Mom can replant flowers. Yeah, it's July. Yeah, it's kind of late, but still, it's never too late to plant beautiful flowers. Right? So I've been doing all of that. Plus, I've been moving stuff, restacking it, reordering it, getting it out of the yard so the yard doesn't look like, a junk pile, right? And stuff like that. On top of that, I'm working on my motorcycle project, and I'm making, other videos, daily videos during the day. Plus, I do a lot of cooking. And since today's laundry day, so I got to do laundry. Right? So, what I do is in the morning, right, I wake up, I'm drinking my coffee, smoking my first bomber. Right? I write down a list of chores I got to do today. Now, it's not, regular chores. It's just a list of chores. To me, everything's a chore. Right? And I write it down, quick 3 or 4 or 5 things that I need to catch up on or I need to do, you know what I'm saying? And then I drink my coffee and enjoy the rest of my waking up time and my bomber, right? And then up and I go, right? Right? Now, I have the main, daily chore list, right? Plus I also have my outside work, right? You understand? And then there's any other thing I got to do that might pop up during the day. You know what I'm saying? Off the, out of the clear blue, like mom wants to go to a party today. You know what I'm saying? Must just go with her. Well, we got a tire on the truck that keeps leaking down a few pounds every other day. So, in between me drinking my coffee and smoking my bomber, that's why I'm smoking it now, right? And getting set up to do this, I've already, filled up the portable air tank and went and checked the tire, filled it up. I checked all the truck all over, did all of that stuff. Made sure everything was ready to go with the truck so that when they decide to go, they can go, and I ain't got to worry about, them having a problem. Boom. See, that wasn't on the daily chore list, wasn't on the regular work schedule list, but it's still something that I had to do because they can't. Mindset. Now, here's another thing you got to think about. You know what I'm saying? Right now, it's in the middle, peak summer, right in the middle, July 20-something. Right? Oh, man, that's a party foul. Anyway, right? So, all of the work that I'm doing now, basically, right, is I'm setting us up for winter, you know what I'm saying, for when it gets cold and it starts snowing and raining and shit. You know what I'm saying? And the wind is blowing 100 miles an hour. Right? That's why I'm moving stuff around and regrouping it, right, and stacking it in the right correct way so that the wind and storms won't blow it all over the yard. Like I've already picked up half of the sheet metal. There's a stack over there of like 40 pieces. I've already picked up half of it twice and restacked it because of the wind. Right? Come winter time, it's going to be a different set of daily chores you're going to have to do because you're going to have to, if you have any delicate plants or anything that's growing outside, chili peppers, citrus trees and stuff like that, you got to tend to them, right? You know what I'm saying? And make sure that they make it through the winter because that's part of your food source, right? You understand? So here later on, in a few more weeks, you understand? I got to start setting up to start saving months, precious flowers and shit. See, same thing. Come springtime, it's a whole another different set of chores, right? You got to make sure that all the irrigation lines are working, that all the water, that anything that needs water, that has access to water, gets water. Right? You want to make sure that your yard tools and your wheelbarrows and everything else are in a place, you understand, where you could get to it so that you could do your work. Come summer, right? You continue on with the work that you started in the spring. Seasonal. That's how it works. You have to set this up in your mind. You understand what you're going to do and how you're going to do it. Hey, dude, what's happening, buddy? Oh, jumped right through the chair. Did you see that? Okay, now, this plays into that garden. If you're going to have a garden, you know what I'm saying? I mean, most people do. I mean, food source. The people across the road right here, they got their garden is as big as the yard I've just fenced in, right? And they're out there every day, every other day, every 3 days, tending to it, weeding it, watering it, make sure it's all good. They ride their little tractor around it all the time, make sure the birds and the bugs and everybody else ain't eating it, right? And they're tending to their food. That's their food source. They grow enough, but they give some to us, they give some to them, they give some to them, they give some to them. That's how you do it out here, But it's not any good if you don't set it up right. Right? They got theirs all fenced in. They got irrigation lines running to it and everything else. Yes, great. Yes. They have a well. Water's free. They can waste as much of it as they want, but they're not actually wasting it because they're growing their food source with it. And besides, the water seeps back into the ground and goes right back to where it comes from. You got to think about this stuff. You have to be prepared, right? You know what I'm saying? And water is the most important thing to have a garden. I mean, look. All these trees were before we got here. All these trees were half dead. Look at them all now. Right? Water. Just simply because me and Teresa started taking care of them. We started feeding them. Right? Okay, I mean, you're going to laugh when I show you the sunflowers. Now, tools. Tools is the last item I got here on my little list that I wanted to talk about while I'm sitting down. Yes, I'm going to go show you guys, give you visual examples of everything that I just talked about. You know what I'm saying? So just hang with me here. Tools, and which one is which? But tools are, to a homesteader, especially to a guy, understand, or a woman, if it's just a woman and her partner, right? Tools are the single most important asset that you have, besides you. All right. Drop the drawer. Right? Why? Because number one, you can fix anything that breaks if you've got tools. Number two, right, you can build anything that you need to build, right? Why? Because you got tools, right? Number three, you understand? Tools are an asset, right? And you need to view them like an asset, just like money, right? I mean, you can trade your tools for other things that you need, right? Certain amount of tools. You could take your tools in yourself and you can barter with someone, a neighbor or somebody down the road, you know what I'm saying? And you can get what you need because you have these tools. Country mindset. You need to do this. Our forefathers did this, right? The same growing everything under the sun. They got it out here, right? Right over there, there's a farm right over there. 35 people live there, and they all work there, huh? And they put it all together. Huh? Tools. It was all because they had tools. Right now, yard tools are different from mechanical tools. Mechanical tools are different from electrical tools. Electrical tools are different from machining and fabricating tools. Right? You don't use the same tools for everything. Man, I don't use the ratchets out here in the yard. I use the shovel and the rake and the pick, right? And the wheelbarrow, right? And the trailer. Right here, a couple of days from now, I'm hoping to have just those 6x running so I could pull the trailer around with the 6x instead of with my feet. But still got to get it done. Why? Because I have the tools and the capability to do it. Now, along with all of this, I've touched on this slightly previously. All right. Along with all of this comes the idea in your mind, right? That this is where I'm going to live forever, right? So, whatever I get out of this, you know what I'm saying? Right? I need to put twice as much into, right? Because it's going to be here forever. Nobody owns nothing. Right? The earth doesn't belong to us. We belong to it. Right? It's going to be here long after we're gone. Right? Egyptians, Sumerians, Arcadians, Hittites, right? Palestinians. Right? You know what I'm saying? Dozens and dozens of tribes of natives down in South America and here in North America, over there in Africa, down in Australia. Right? They can attest to this simple fact. Right? You are nothing but a fleeting instant, right, in the time span of the universe. So, if you're going to live out here and you're going to put out everything that you have into that, right, you know what I'm saying? Then your reward is in the act.